That answer will shock a lot of people. Is Jake Paul boxing?
At first I was against it, and I was just like, man, them dudes just using their YouTube status to come in boxing and make all this money, and all these boxers that's been doing it their whole life doesn't even make close to what they making. I think it's disrespectful.
You a yeah, there is stuff. You a see. You a you a hold talking to. Let everyone. You a because you keep talking like a.
Hey, yo, what up, sports fans? It looking like Terrance Crawford just slammed Jake Paul for wanting to fight Mike Tyson and chickening out during the latest press conference as he admitted that he's scared of facing a boxing legend. I mean, who wouldn't be?
I know it's going to be tough. I know I'm going to have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas. I'm scared, don't get me wrong.
Now, Terrance Bud Crawford has fought some pretty high-profile fights throughout his career, and he has become the latest to criticize Jake Paul's controversial boxing career. The pound-for-pound boxing champion has taken on some challenging fights and doesn't see how Jake Paul can become a boxing champion by fighting pro boxers who are way older than him and past their prime. Like, look, man, just because you knock the crap out of somebody doesn't mean you good. It means they old and probably wearing Depends up in the ring. Now, Crawford was also on the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul recently, and he had some surprising things to say about Jake's boxing career. It turns out, Crawford appreciates Paul for what he's doing for the sport, but had a pretty shocking opinion on the YouTuber turned boxer. Now, the majority of the boxing community is critical of Jake Paul's ambitious plans to become a boxing world champion, and for good reason. I mean, the dude has been regularly fighting pro boxing bouts since the last 3 years or so, but he's constantly surprised opponents, defeating some of them via knockouts. But most of his opponents have been athletes from other sports or MMA fighters or boxers who are way older than him. The only pro boxer he's actually faced until now who's in the same age group as him was Tommy Fury. The problem child lost that fight via split decision. Now, luckily for Paul, that's been the only defeat on his record, but still, the boxing world ain't ready to give Paul his flowers with a lot of people dismissing him as a boxing influencer who wants to gain more popularity. I mean, let's be real. This dude ain't rising through the ranks. He ain't been put through the grinder like everybody else. Why is this dude out here trying to get special treatment? Now, believe it or not, some critics have been overly harsh on Problem Child. Like British boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, for instance, who's been slamming Paul ever since he's been trying to call out people like Conor McGregor to fight him. In one interview where the two was face-to-face, Hearn took a jab at Paul as he tried his best to showcase what he's achieved in his short boxing stint, but Hearn brutally shut him down. Now, Paul also had an audacious challenge for the dude. Just take a look.
Eddie, your reaction to Jake saying he will become a world champion?
Everyone's entitled to have a dream. No, seriously, I'm being serious. I think there's absolutely no way he can beat a world champion and become world champion. But I will say he's improving a lot. He's dedicated to the sport. I don't know how good he is because he hasn't really faced a real fighter yet. It's not his fault. He signed to fight Tommy Fury.
A five-time world champion in Tyron Woodley's a real fighter.
Mate, he's not a real boxer. He's not, Jake.
Well, I mean, the first skill in MMA is boxing. He won the UFC championship with a right hand.
He's a great UFC fighter.
But you consider Tommy Fury a real boxer?
Yes, but I'm not in terms of ability. But listen, Tyron
so what defines a real boxer?
A real boxer is someone that is his
journeyman
craft.
Like Andy Bishop who have.
Who's Andy Bishop?
Exactly, but he's a real boxer, right?
Yeah, but
because anyone can go and get a professional boxing
but what I'm saying
license.
is Usman does not qualify to give you any right to talk about you fighting for a world title, and nor does Tommy Fury actually. But I give you the props, I give you the respect. You're improving all the time, but the proof will be in the pudding. I don't believe. By the way, I've said that I think Jake Paul is better than some fighters, but I don't believe you will ever get close to being a world-class fighter.
I believe that I would beat anybody on your roster that's under 10 fights. Anyone.
We can do that.
Any one of your fighters that has under 10 fights. Easy.
Okay.
So
a cruiserweight?
Literally any weight.
Okay. So
any weight.
Any weight.
Any weight. Any weight. I will beat anybody on your roster.
I've got about 400 of them.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Let's run it up.
Chef
no
Clark.
No problem. Give me your best real boxer.
Okay. Chef Clark.
Give me your best real boxer.
Chef Clark, 1-0, right? Boxed in the Olympics, didn't medal. 1-0, just had one professional fight. He's a cruiserweight. You can have him, and I tell you what, I'll even provide him Well, actually, let me be careful on the price.
I don't know.
No, but I'm telling you, I've got 5.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
okay,
No problem.
okay.
I already said I'm down. We're betting $1 million. I'm taking on anyone on your roster with under 10 fights. No problem. And that's right now too. Just wait to just give me a couple of years, bro. Ooh, I'm coming for your boy Canelo.
Yeah?
I'm coming for your boy Canelo. That's on God.
Look, I don't think he minds that fight.
He didn't say no.
No, I know.
Canelo didn't say no to a fight with him.
Well, why would he not? That's the biggest. That's one of the biggest fights in boxing that can be made.
So Paul demanded 3 years to make a mark in the boxing world. Now bear in mind that the debate with Hearn took place 2 years ago, and the problem child has made some improvements in the years since. He has worked harder to gain some recognition from the boxing community. Unfortunately, not everybody's ready to accept him as a legitimate boxer with potential to grow and succeed. And with the latest bout against Iron Mike coming up, Paul has earned way more criticism than praise. Let's just take a quick look at all the experts and enthusiasts who slammed Jake Paul for crossing the line and deciding to fight the boxing legend next.
This thing is going to look terrible on TV. You think this thing is going to draw more than Mike versus Roy? You think this thing is going to draw more than Fury versus Francis? It's going to look ridiculous in an 80,000 seat arena. And what would be the reason that they're boxing? Money. Yep, sure. Yeah, we understand that. That doesn't work. It's a flop. It's a flop. Floyd and Conor in the fight capital of the world did less than 12,000 tickets. Come on, man. In Texas? Come on.
And Tyson, I don't care who you are, nobody's above Father Time. Tyson's what, like 6 years old, I think?
Tyson is 57.
57.
And Jake Paul is 27.
Yeah, you know, man, that you know, no matter how much of an athlete and mean Tyson was in his prime, this is way past his prime. So I just don't know how much of Tyson is left, you know. All these heavyweights that Tyson's been fighting, those shots just don't go away. You know, he's gotten hit by some of the hardest hitters that ever walked planet Earth, dead square on the jaw. So that only gets worse with time, you know. So could Jake beat him? Yeah. But is that Mike Tyson? No, it's not Mike Tyson. We all know who Mike Tyson is. But obviously he's not fighting Mike Tyson. He's fighting the shuttle Mike Tyson. So I don't know, man. Maybe I overthink things like this in this matter too much, but there's too much.
Man, Mike got that one-hitter quitter power forever till he passes away. And so at the end of the day, I don't think that Jake Paul's ever been hit with anything with that type of power. And so I think that you know, Mike still got it. So we'll always have that power. It's the last thing to go. Yeah, for us fighters, the power is, you know, is the last thing to go. And at the end of the day, I think that Mike is still, you know, relevant when it comes to, you know, him putting it on the show and being able to knock a dude out that's, you know, never been really hurt. But Mike Tyson, he's got that power that he's never ever in his life ever felt.
I mean, Mike, it's Iron Mike. So I mean, he's a legend in the sport. Jake, he's a YouTuber. I feel like if Mike jumps on him early, once you know how to box, his power is never gonna leave him. I feel like if Mike jumps on him early, you can get him. But if it goes past the second round, Jake is gonna get him.
Oh, you think Mike gonna get one line?
Mike is old.
Yeah, he old, but I don't know.
I don't know.
He should be able to make 2 rounds.
I don't know. I don't see a 6-year-old man hanging in there with a 25-year-old man.
Sorry.
That's Mike Tyson on the phone.
Man. But I don't see a 6-year-old man hanging in the ring with a 25-year-old trying to keep up, chasing him around. I don't see it happening.
So predicting Jake.
I'm taking Mike by knockout, Jake by decision.
You gonna watch his Mike Tyson fight?
Of course.
Who's gonna win?
It's a young man's sport, man.
Yeah.
This man been training for a long time. For what, 3? How long you been training?
He's at like 6 years now.
Come
like
on,
nonstop.
Come on, man. What like they got headgear on?
No, they're not. You know that saying, beware of the old man at war, because it's a young man's game?
Yeah.
The people that survive are the ones you got to worry about. Mike Tyson is still in the ring.
Yes.
You got to worry about that.
You're right.
It's Mike Tyson. He's not a human. There's human fighters, then there's Mike Tyson.
So if he wins, is this gonna count for you?
I believe it's an exhibition.
Will you celebrate like it's a
Yeah.
A W? We celebrate every night.
Yeah, we will. We'll celebrate.
They don't celebrate at all. He doesn't celebrate.
You know, after fight. What do you do after fights?
Tetris. He plays Tetris.
I like Tetris. Yeah, I play Tetris.
After fights?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll drink sometimes. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I got Mike Tyson.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't see how Jake pulls this off. I see Mike Tyson punching him in the body, and I don't see how Jake stops that. Jake is not of the size to give Mike a problem. Mike can be, big guys would hold Mike, guys with long reach that outweigh him.
Yeah.
I think people that's Mike's weight, with Mike's center of gravity, I don't think there's anything that's gonna stop him. Mike hits him in the body don't move that much. I don't see how Jake survives a body attack, personally.
Okay, I looked it up. Mike Tyson is 220 pounds.
That's 1 pound less than his optimal weight.
And Jake Paul is about 200 pounds. He's got about 20 pound
Are
difference.
you kidding me? He's only 200?
Yeah.
Oh, gee. This is worse than I thought.
That was his last fight. That's what he weighed in as.
Yeah. Oh, boy. That means, he fought Tommy Fury he was 200 pounds when he fought Tommy Fury?
6'1". Mike is what, 5'10"? Let me see.
Huh. He's 6'1".
5'10", yeah. 5'10". So you got 3 inches on him.
I know.
3 inches for Mike Tyson's not a big deal, obviously. But Tyson is 57. And okay.
I don't care.
So the boxing world don't see Jake Paul defeating Mike Tyson by any means. Now, most fans were surprised and saddened that Iron Mike decided to take on Jake Paul at 58. The problem child has also received plenty of criticism from experts who think that Paul doesn't gain anything from fighting Mike Tyson. If anything, he could lose a huge chunk of his fan base and reputation if he takes on a boxing legend. But not everybody is against Jake Paul, just most of everybody. Now, there's a couple shocking legends who believe that this is a great fight for the sport and the fans. Heavyweight boxing star Tyson Fury is one fighter open to the fight taking place. Now, he felt this was a great show and both fighters would make a ton of money. Now, he also has some love for former Disney star Jake Paul.
I think it's fantastic for boxing. You got a legend in Mike Tyson. You've got a YouTube boxer who's come into the game and blew it up, and he's got millions of followers and millions of views and millions of eyes, good, bad or indifferent. Some people love him, some people hate him. So I think it's a really good spectacle for boxing. It brings a lot of people to the game. And listen, who am I to say, Mike Tyson shouldn't be boxing or Jake Paul shouldn't be boxing? Good luck to them. They're both going to make what I call a shit ton of money out of it. So isn't that what it's about?
80,000 fans. I mean, what a spectacle it'll be.
Yeah, I've been to that stadium when Billy Joe fought Canelo. It's a great stadium. It'd be fantastic for the guys. Both getting paid, both going to put on a show. I just don't know what's not to like. Okay, the guy's 57 years old, but he was a former undisputed world heavyweight king, and one guy plays computers for a living, and he's come to boxing about a year ago, so pretty even match.
You always have to respect it, right? They come up in terms of like...
Yeah. Listen, from being a kid on the Disney Channel to fighting Mike Tyson, who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. It's like you getting an offer to fight Prince Nassim Hamed.
It's not me.
Another boxing star who feels like Jake Paul is doing a great job is Terrance Crawford. Now, he may have criticized the YouTuber running the sport of boxing into the ground in the past, but he's got nothing but respect for Paul. In an interview with Ariel Helwani, Bud was serious when he claimed that Paul could challenge for belts at cruiserweight. Now, he was observing Paul's boxing career and made a shocking statement.
Jake says he could get a cruiserweight title in 2 years. Do you think he can?
Possible. It's possible. Listen, man, a lot of people write Jake off, but Jake can punch with that right hand. He got a nice right hand. Gained a lot of respect for Jake because he's not a YouTuber that's just boxing just to box. He actually trains and actually want to get better and actually have got better and really putting his time, focus, and energy into boxing. So you got to respect that.
Crawford does think that Jake Paul's got the potential. Now, he reiterated this statement during his latest interview with Logan Paul on the Impulsive podcast. Crawford confessed that he hated Paul and other YouTubers infiltrating the sport and ruining it for the pros. But he quickly changed his mind after he saw Paul train and how dedicated he was at boxing. I mean, personally, you can train yourself to eat hamburgers all day, every day, but you ain't gonna be no hamburglar. Know what I'm saying?
Is Jake Paul boxing? Yes. I think that answer will shock a lot of people.
Well, did you ask him in the right way?
No. Not like is he actively boxing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, did you just answer an objective question?
He's boxing. You know, at first I was against it, and I was just like, man, this dude, because I've been following y'all with the backyard, you know, boxing gloves and stuff like that. So when people was coming at you and your brother negative about boxing, I'm like, man, yeah, them dudes just, you know, using their YouTube status to come in boxing and make all this money, and you got all these boxers that's been doing it their whole life that doesn't even make close to what they making. I said, I think it's disrespectful to us in the game, you know, but after watching him and seeing the seriousness that he's taking to actually train and like put the focus and attention into sports, I'm like, yeah, man, this dude really getting better. Like, he really can fight.
Now, Logan also had some words of praise for his brother as he pointed out how the problem child has mastered the sport. He pointed out that Paul has grown as a boxer and has achieved an important skill of being able to sell any fight. He knows that these skills could make him a serious contender to conquer the sport.
It's what he said. It's like, Jake has to be strategic about his path in boxing, and he is. He's doing two things that are really impressive, I think. I'm biased, but he's making a fantastic living. He's making money by selling fights and convincing people to watch him and tune in. And he's fighting people that every time there is a percentage of people that think he's gonna lose. Yeah. And that's what you need. Like I don't think there's been one fight where everyone's like, Jake Paul is guaranteed to win, you know? And then hopefully, at least his goal is to be the best in the world, to be a champion like you one day. And man, you mentioned it, he puts in the work. It is all he does.
Actually.
Actually. Yeah. And something changed. You mentioned something changed. We're like, man, I be watching him hit the bag now, and like, he's really a boxer. And I think tonight, against Mike Perry, we'll see how this ages. I think people are going to see a side of Jake Paul they didn't know existed. Yeah. Because in his last fight, the one you were at, I don't know what happened there. But you didn't really get to see much. You know, you saw him swinging, but the guy kind of like ducked and kind of fell. You felt that power. Yeah. Well, I think because Mike Perry is tough, you know, Milton, my coach always says, like, we love fighting tough guys because you ain't gonna let you hit them. Yeah. And then they're gonna get damaged, like repeatedly, a lot. And I think it's gonna be a devastating knockout. Yeah. If I could bet, I'd bet I'm better.
Now, Logan predicted Paul's clash with Mike Perry accurately, but fighting Mike Tyson is a whole different ballgame. Now, could he defeat Iron Mike if they fought in November? So the boxing world is super divided on this YouTube dude. Now, while a majority of people criticize him for his antics, people like Tyson Fury and Terrance Crawford appreciate what he's trying to do for the sport. But what you think? Do we need influencers infiltrating boxing to make boxing big again? Or should everybody in the front line of boxing be the ones lifting it up so all these YouTubers ain't got a chance? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.